Welcome back to another episode of I Never Liked You with Matteo, Lane, and Nick Smith. And today we are talking America's Next Top Model, Tyra Banks documentary.
Yes.
And can I just say, you and I and Marie and Sydney talked about America's Next Top Model. Right.
We didn't even know there was a documentary coming out.
Right. And who do we have on the show today?
We have Joanie from Cycle 6 joining us halfway through the episode, and she was also in the documentary, so we're going to get some real tea.
Yeah, I mean, exclusive.
This is hard-hitting journalism.
Is hard. You heard it here first.
We are the Hoda and Jenna
We
of
are
our generation.
Access Hollywood. Can I say, when I saw, because me and Mina, Marie, Sydney, and Rosewood all got together to watch it, I thought that it was going to be a documentary talking about, like, kind of how ridiculous
like all the
show
crazy
was.
stuff that happened.
I mean, because everyone makes fun of the same shit. Like, it was wildly problematic. You know, the shoots
photos,
and
yeah.
photos, none of it even made sense. But then watching it, like, all of us were like, I feel sad. Like,
there was a lot of sad moments.
and the Shandy.
So sad.
And also, can I just say, like, the amount of blame that Tyra, and I know a lot of people have talked about this, but there's 1 minute where she's like, Shandy, yeah, I feel, because that's not really my section. And then, like, seconds later, she's like, I became a master editor. Then Ken, or whatever, Kent, who was the producer, the guy who produced the whole thing?
Ken Ma,
who then that's not me. This is a documentary. Everyone blamed everybody else. And I was like, okay, can someone just say that, like, you did a terrible thing?
They love to pass the buck. Ken Ma was diabolical. Everyone did everything except him. Even though he was the executive producer and in charge of everything, he knew nothing and was in charge of nothing, apparently.
Right. I knew nothing. Tyra, I knew everything and nothing at the same time.
No, it's Shandy and Kenya. So sad.
So sad. Wasn't it Kenya who was doing the shoot?
With the model
groping her.
And she
and they made her
stops
the elephant.
shoot. She stops the shoot to say, I'm uncomfortable. He's moaning. And they all go, there are 50 people here. Make it work.
I mean, it's
and Tyra then in judging goes, there are more coy ways to have handled that. Being like, if you do that again.
At some point in the show, if a extra came out to the model and stabbed them, Tyra would be like, why didn't you work with it?
Right.
I mean, it would
make
be
it
like,
work.
What is this? And then you really look at it, and, like, I never thought about this either, but obviously it was a TV show and it was a reality show, and I want to get to that too. But, you know, they had all these photo shoots that really were, for a portfolio, unusable. Who's going to use?
The one says that. She goes, I went out in the real world and couldn't use it because there are all these hyper stylized, very specific shoots.
A girl whose mom was shot, they put her in a photo shoot where she was shot. Who are you going to walk up to? You're going to walk up to a modeling agency, say, here's my portfolio, and there you are.
It's not even about the
SVU
clothes.
Shot up on the wall. Like, what designer is going to be like, we need that. That's my muse.
Well, imagine Kenya. Here I am as an elephant. What?
And Tyra's like, I did it. I did all this. I understand that there are couture shoots where you go to extremes and it's fine.
This was not couture.
But this is not, even if, like, the September issue of Vogue you're going through, the point of the photos is to heighten the clothes, to show the clothes, to show the designer, to show the, you know, even Grace Coddington, when she was, I think, the artistic director for a long time at Vogue, and she would do these amazing shoots, but even whether they're color blocked or whether they're like 1920s vibe, the clothes are still the main point. Not this girl got shot on a wall, that girl's an elephant,
and now we're making this white girl black.
Then we're gonna put her in blackface. I mean, okay. The only thing I will say is, like, because I'm old, you know, that was all TV back then. So let me finish my thought. None of it's okay. None of it was okay. The Swan was a show where they took women who truly needed a blowout and a new jacket and forced them into months of plastic surgery, made them look exactly like the host of the show, and then shielded them from mirrors and their family. And remember, they would come in and they would wrap themselves up and they would be like, "How are you?" That's nice, you know. And then they would reveal them.
How do you feel?
Right. Then they show them themselves in a mirror with, by the way, with the plastic surgeons complimenting themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Then This is fucked up. Then they were told, but unfortunately, you're still not pretty enough to enter the competition for the Swan. So they went through all this plastic surgery just to be told, you're still not pretty enough for the competition aspect of it. This was TV. So Top Model at the time when you're watching it, I'm like 12, 13, 14, whatever, high school maybe. And I'm just kind of like, is it like, it just felt like all TV, like this human experiment. And then you get older and you're like, wait, that was so fucked up.
Well, so
Am I making sense? I'm not excusing. I'm just saying
this is
there
my
was fear
double-edged
factor. There was this,
right.
or that, but that does none of it excuses. This is not an excuse. I'm simply just explaining what TV was at that time.
And this is my double-edged sword that I was telling Chris earlier. Reality TV in the early 2000s was the Wild West. It was, what can we do to get ratings? This is a human experiment. What works? What doesn't work?
Fear
Let's do
Factor
crazy
got canceled
stuff.
because they fed them Donkey Kong.
Right. Let's do crazy stuff and see what sticks.
Jackass.
Now, unfortunately, a lot of it does not age well. And in their defense, now in 2026, a lot of the stuff you're like, what were you thinking? What were you thinking? But if you put yourself in their shoes in the early 2000s, some of it you're like, well, we're just doing what everyone else is doing. We're trying to get ratings. Not to say that all of it is excusable. The sexual assault with Shandy and Kenya is just not excusable and so sad and demonic.
And even in then that has nothing to do with
food and them starving the girls and all of that. Like, there is a lot that happened that's inexcusable, but there's a lot of stuff specifically with the photo shoots and everything that you're just like, well, at the end of the day, it is a reality TV show. And I'm going to go a step further. And maybe this makes me sound like a bad guy, but I don't mean it. I'm curious what Joanie thinks, because I think I remember her saying similarly. Yes, a lot of these women were taken advantage of, but at the end of the day, they joined a reality competition. Yes, it was for modeling, but a lot of them were like, afterwards, no one took me seriously. They only viewed me as a reality show personality. And it's like, well, you are.
I think
there was some bait and switch. Don't get me wrong.
Here's what I'll say. I think the victims were these girls who were used as an experiment by producers with the guise of this will make you a model. So I think that these girls were all victims. And I think that that was reality shows at the time. I think people on Survivor, I think people on Fear Factor, I think Mary Jo Millionaire, I think The Swan, I think Extreme Makeover, I think all these shows that just took things so far. They had a show called Celebrity Fit Club where they would take celebrities and put them on a scale, a human-sized scale. And we watched with popcorn like, wow. I mean, this was just, those shows with like the losing the weight shows. I forget, The Biggest Loser, where it was like the most unhealthy way to live. This was all TV all at once.
But what's crazy is
the point that I wanted to make was that these girls were victims in an experiment. And on top of it, there was no social media. There was no Facebook. There was no Instagram. So being on TV, when you're a kid, like we were in high school, probably like 14 years old, and you're watching it, my thought at that time is, if you're on TV, you live in a mansion.
Mm-hmm.
You're on
star.
TV. You're a fucking star. I had no idea. Now that I've been in TV, I mean, when I was on Girl Code and Guy Code on MTV, we got paid absolutely nothing. I still lived in an attic above Sashir. But so it was like, oh, wow, like there is no money. And these girls didn't get anything. Like, it just was a lot of unfair racism and misogyny and body shaming and not what I was expecting. I thought it was going to be, remember how stupid this challenge was? I didn't know that J. Manuel wasn't speaking to Tyra anymore, and I didn't realize that he felt this way.
Well, I'm going to say about the men, I feel like they really passed the buck off on Tyra and Ken a lot. And I actually think that they had a lot of issues themselves that
of course
they
kind
of like didn't take accountability for. I don't think so.
No one took accountability. I mean, no one took accountability, and these girls got on a TV show with zero people protecting them.
Yeah.
Is this too serious?
No, people like when we hyperfixate on a topic like this.
Really?
Yes.
But I will say there is, looking back, it still is ridiculous that they put him on a water challenge.
Well,
I was going
to say, with all the fucked up things that happened, here we are in 2026, and I still happily watch these episodes with popcorn, fully knowing that they're about to put this poor girl in blackface. I'm watching.
Why did they put her in? Why would they even?
They did it twice. They did a photo shoot
Why?
changing race twice.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. Also, I'm going to say it. Tyra was like, I started with the intention to wake up the modeling industry, blah, 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 blah,
As
blah.
a what?
I'm going to call bullshit. Tyra is a businesswoman at the end of the day, and she's a narcissist, obviously. So she had the intention of having a show where she's the starring vehicle, and it's going to make her popular and a lot of money. Not, I'm doing this show for the betterment of the modeling industry. I call bullshit. It's not why you started the show.
But I will say, I worked with Tyra.
You did, and you had great things to say.
I did. I worked with her for 2 days on a fashion show for Kids Super in Paris. It was the most insane 2 days of my life. Me and Stavros were thrown onto a private jet, flown to Paris for Kids Super's fashion show, and Tyra was the host. There was a bunch of comics on the show, and I will say she not only showed up to rehearsal with zero ego, stood there like the rest of us, listening to what we're supposed to do. She said hi to everybody. She hung out with everybody. She took pictures with everybody. I have a picture with me and Tyra. And then afterwards, and I think her and her husband or boyfriend went to Shake Shack. And she came back and she was like, oh, it was maybe Five Guys. And she was like, they've got amazing ice cream there. Like could not have been more. Well,
her ice cream.
Maybe that's where she got the inspiration.
The only thing weird from that trip that you said is she did hang you all from the private jet to get a photo.
She did. She said, you want to be on top? And then she took us all.
They tied your ankles.
With a belt.
Threw you out the plane door. And she's like, make it work.
And then they took
This
off.
is modeling.
And we were like, yeah.
So this
and
is
the
modeling.
Photos, it's so interesting. I brought it to a modeling agency. I said, what do you think? And they said, we can't use this. I said, but don't I want to be on top?
And they looked you up and down and said, baby, you're on the bottom.
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
Baby, you're on the bottom. No, I mean, look, at the end of the day, it was a crazy show. I feel bad for a lot of the girls, but at the same time, I'm also like, great TV that I still watch. They made great TV. I think Ken Ma is a diabolical human being.
All reality TV producers,
especially of that time.
I mean, producers, remember, there's no showrunner, meaning that there's no one writing the show. So a line producer, or whoever, what they are, has to create a narrative. And so you can't just watch a show about girls getting pictures taken and then getting judged. What's the drama? What are we looking forward to the next episode? So they feed all these girls. So-and-so said this about you. So-and-so said that about you. So, it's quote unquote reality TV, but it's not.
I've been following along a lot of the girls who have released like reels and TikToks and statements about their time on it. And there's a lot of things. So the Tiffany moment where Tyra yelled at her, this is all allegedly. Apparently, Tyra said a lot of really fucked up shit to her that she had them edit out. So it was just what was shown of I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? Apparently, Tiffany and other girls said that she was like, you can go home and sleep on your mattress on the floor in your dirty home with your baby and no husband and shit like that.
Damn.
Allegedly, but that's what the girls said.
Can you imagine if that got out?
All right, I think it's time we bring in our special guest.
Okay.
From Cycle 6, runner-up. Welcome to the stage, Joanie.
Joanie.
Hello.
Hi.
It's so funny because it's like, I can't believe how fast this happened. Like, in 1 second, I'm watching the America's Next Top Model documentary. The next thing, Nick's like, all right, Joanie's messaged me and she wants to be on the show. And I was like, what?
Literally,
Yes,
I call him and I'm like, Matteo, we are doing a Top Model episode and I have an inside track. I was like, Joanie's coming on.
Joanie, how do you feel seeing yourself and now like the whole world talking about you and talking about sort of what you not just went through, but you've been living with for so many years? I mean, how do you feel right now?
I feel good, I guess. I mean, I'm glad it's being talked about, honestly. I mean, it's been a long time coming, and I think for so long we just let it go and we just lived with it. And now everybody's like, wait a damn minute. Let's talk about this.
How many years ago has it been since you were on?
Our show aired in March of 2006. So exactly 20 years.
Oh my God, it's almost the 20-year anniversary.
Wow.
Congratulations. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. I mean, can I ask a strange question?
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people are harping on the same things, but are there good memories attached to doing that? And do you look back at any of it fondly at all? I mean, I would imagine that, it was a crazy experience and you're on TV for the first time and all this stuff is happening to you, but I'm just curious, like, how do you feel in terms of, not to be like, what's the happy stuff? But I'm just kind of curious because it was a different tone for the
Yeah, what are your
documentary.
fond memories?
Yeah, fond memories. Well, if you think about it, the production alone is incredible. Like at no point in anyone's life would you be able to do the types of photo shoots that we did, just like for a brand like Clorox or Vogue, or
Right.
no one's getting elephants in a jungle and like, suspending you over a river. I mean, even though they were kind of crazy and wacky and not realistic to the modeling industry, that was incredible. Like I would never.
They were fun.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I mean, you were a bit of a trailblazer on the show
Oh.
because up until your season, the makeovers, which is always one of the best episodes of every season, the girls were getting like different color hair or their hair cut or like a Brazilian wax. And then your season is when they really were like, okay, that's all fine and dandy. We're now going to have medical procedures done to you.
Right.
So you and Danielle were whisking you off to the dentist, and you're going to sit there for how long was your procedure?
The first day, there's multiple days, was 13 hours.
13 hours?
My God.
And then how soon after 13 hours did you have to go back on set and be on top? What the
I
fuck?
know. No, they let me sleep that night, and then I was supposed to go to some sort of like meet and greet with Janice Dickinson, and that was kind of, I think, a filler, like a last minute filler for them, because they were like, "Listen, this girl is down for the count. Like, you cannot do anything."
They're like, she can't open her
No,
mouth.
literally. I went to this thing to meet Janice, and I looked at the producers, and I'm like, "I'm ill. I'm gonna throw up." Because they had been giving me Novocaine for so many hours.
Oh.
I was like shaking, and I had what's the gas called that you breathe in and you're like, oh,
Nitrous
Yes.
oxide.
and I was
Right,
out of my
yeah.
mind. I was so sore.
They gave you the old Judy special.
I mean, it was fun. It sounded like angels. I was like,
I mean, I honestly, and we were just talking about this, hearing you even just say that, I'm so shocked that a reality show thought it was appropriate to take a young girl and put her in. First of all, what's the message we're sending to young girls? You know what I mean? Why Jewel embraced the fact that she had kind of crooked teeth and she's beautiful and there's beauty and diversity.
Sure.
And they're like, nah, get this girl and rip her teeth out. Also, isn't there swelling involved when you
Yes.
get your teeth out?
oh yeah.
And then you have to go on set and what?
Well, you were saying, luckily, the first photo shoot back was the crying one. So you're just crying for real.
I was like,
They're like, wow, Joanie, this seems really real.
yeah, I was a damn mess. Yeah, that was so crazy. I was super swollen too. Like you can see it in one of the next judging sessions. My mouth was all swollen, my lips were big. And what's really crazy, a lot of people don't realize this, they didn't just finish it all in 2 days. They gave me like these two, like one piece, kind of just like partial kind of things.
Like
Yeah.
like the flippers that pageant girls wear.
Yes, and it was bonded on to like one end and the other end and one end, because they had done extractions and those needed to heal before they did the rest of the
Oh my
crowns.
God.
So I had to wear those, and they were thick and big, and I had to talk around them. And I'm like, how do you expect me to say mascara? I'm like lisping,
And somehow, even with the flippers, you did a better commercial than Jade.
Oh, Jade's commercial
We have
was.
to-
I
we
we
have
have
to
to
talk
ask you
about
about Jade's
Jade.
commercial.
We just have to talk about Jade, period.
Period.
She is one of the best reality TV show people of that time.
Yes.
Just, was she as in real life, sort of in her own world as she was on camera?
All the time. It was. I thought for a long time. You remember back in those days, you could go on to like chat rooms and little blog things, and like you'd see everybody talking, kind of like Reddit, but like back in the day, there were so many more of those. I was on those all the time, and people thought she was a planted actor, and I really believed that. I was like, "There's no way." Yeah,
I thought the same thing at once. I was like, "Oh, they hired her for a reason." Like I had at that point on the show, we had almost never seen someone that aloof and out there.
Yeah. I mean, she was snapped when she left with her luggage. I'll never get over that.
All right, y'all. As you know, I am in my health and wellness journey in 2026, and I am doing it with Factor meals. Yes, I am out of pocket paying for Factor meals because it's healthy food and it is fully prepared meals that I don't have to cook myself. I can just pick and it comes to me once a week and I pop it in the microwave. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Every meal has quality, functional ingredients, including lean proteins, colorful veggies, whole food ingredients, and healthy fats. No refined sugars, no artificial sweeteners, no refined seed oils. One of my favorite ones that I've had so far that I wasn't sure if I was going to like it because Thanksgiving time is the only time I eat turkey was turkey Thanksgiving meal. It was like turkey, gravy, mashed potatoes, cranberry sauce, Brussels sprouts. Honestly, I loved it. I wanted more. And I ordered more, and we'll have it. There are 100 rotating weekly meals to keep things fresh and delicious through winter. Options include high protein, calorie smart, Mediterranean diet, GLP-1 support, and ready-to-eat salad. Plus, the new Muscle Pro collection supports strength and recovery. It's always fresh, never frozen, ready in about 2 minutes, and no prep and no stress. Again, I genuinely have been eating these meals, and they feel healthy. They're the right portion. They taste good. Head to factormeals.com/INLY50 off and use code INLY50 off to get 50% off and free breakfast for a year. Eat like a pro this month with Factor. New subscribers only, varies by plan. 1 free breakfast item per box for 1 year while subscription is active. A well-built wardrobe is about pieces that work together and hold up over time, and that's what Quince does best. Premium materials, thoughtful design, and everyday staples that feel easy to wear and easy to rely on, even as the weather shifts. Quince has the everyday essentials I love with quality that lasts. Organic cotton sweaters, polos for every occasion, lighter jackets that keep you warm in the changing seasons, and the list goes on, really. Quince works directly with top factories and cuts out the middlemen, so you're not paying for brand markup, just quality clothing. Plus, they only partner with factories that meet rigorous standards for craftsmanship and ethical production. I got one of their cashmere sweaters, and I genuinely wear it all the time. The color is beautiful. It's soft. It feels amazing. And it doesn't break the bank. It was affordable and especially for cashmere. Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/INLY for free shipping on your order and 365-day return. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/INLY. Free shipping and 365-day return. Quince.com/INLY.
I have a question. When you guys are all sitting together, I mean, you're going through essentially trauma together. I mean, you're in the trenches with one another. It's trauma bonding.
Yeah.
You know, it is a competition, but did it feel like a competition or did it feel like, you know, what's that movie called? Lord of the Flies. I mean, was it more so of like, which version? Like, did you feel competitive with the other girls? Did you feel like, can we just get through this next photo shoot? Like my teeth are hurting.
Yeah, no, it was a little bit of both. Like, so I will say I was awesome and friendly with every single girl on the cast. I mean, yeah, Jade and I got into it just because I was just like, I can't deal with you. Like, what are you talking about?
How could you not?
Yeah. So, but everybody else, we all cared for each other. We all got along. Little secret, we actually all are on a group chat and we're going to meet up in April, like a lot of us. Which is awesome.
Including Jade?
I mean, we don't know how to get a hold of her. I mean, if we would.
Yeah, where is Jade?
No one, she's disappeared.
No
one knows
she's in
where she
Philly.
is.
I heard she has a production company called Biracial Butterfly Productions.
All right, work. Shout out to Jade.
Shout out
Jade.
Jade.
We loved
Shout out to
her.
Jade.
I mean, that commercial is an iconic moment of the show.
I love it.
Her
The
commercial.
one where she's like, Fabulous. That one. Yeah.
Yes. Hey, girl, how are you?
Hey.
Okay.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Nice party.
Yeah.
Her and then the Wild Now episode where she just immediately starts attacking Veranda for no
I
reason.
know. No one understood any of those challenges. I was like, this is so much fun. I love this right now. Everybody's just, it was not good. She was really mean.
I think I think I saw you mention this as well. Like, you had to go into the show and the episodes with a certain mindset of, yes, this is a competition, but also like, we're just having cool experiences and having fun. So like, was the Wild and Out episode crazy and weird? Sure. But if you just are like, whatever, this is fun. When
Yeah.
are we ever going to do this again?
Did you view it as I'm going to become have a full-blown modeling career after this, or did you view it as like I'm joining a reality show, throwing caution to the wind?
Again, a little bit of both, but I think I was super naive and just, I had no clue what the industry was like back then. I came from a small town. I was modeling small town, but this was like, I thought, oh, heck yeah, this is my chance. I'm going to be a big model and all this and that. But I definitely knew that this was a reality show. I just didn't realize the stigma that it would cause and how it would affect my career afterward.
Sure.
I mean, we were saying earlier, I was like, after watching the documentary, I was like, you know what? My thoughts are all the girls are victims. Every single one is a victim. They were thrown into this human experiment. And then you watch I'm curious what you feel about Tyra and all these other people, Jay and Nigel, who kind of everyone blamed everybody else. It was like, here are the heads of the show, here are the execs, and here are the models saying, I went through this. I mean, you literally have videos of ripping out your teeth, and they're all just like, that's what you wanted. I mean, how does that make you feel watching it? Do you feel if they had just owned it, if Tyra had just said, yeah, we did some fucked up shit because it was 2006 and that was reality TV and I stand by it and wouldn't do it today? I mean,
That would have been
what's your
that would
take
have
on
been a
that?
great answer if she said exactly what you just said. I think that would have been
Right.
perfect. But like throwing blame, taking not taking a lot of it was really weird to me. And here's how I like to look at it. Do you when you get in a car accident and you're not supposed to say, "Oh, I did that. It was my fault," because then all of a sudden all the blame goes on you. I
Right.
feel like there's a little bit of that going on where like she can't say she's sorry because then I think the
Is
onslaught
blame.
is going to be really crazy for her. So she was very prepared and she was very like, she had her publicity answers ready to go. But I do think a small little, you know what, I'm really sorry that I hurt you or blah, 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 would give so many peace and just make them
For
happier.
sure.
And she's not even giving us that. And I'm just like,
I mean,
Yeah.
the fact she pretended she didn't even remember Shandy is crazy.
Well, there was a second where Shandy.
Shandy. Yeah, I don't work in production. Meanwhile, 10 seconds later, I became so good at editing, I was doing it all day, every day.
She
What?
reminds me of Mrs. Brady in the Brady Bunch movie. She's like, Tiger, whatever happened to that dog?
Yeah, it just... it was an interesting documentary to see because we were saying this before you got on. We thought it was just going to sort of talk about the craziness and silliness, which it did at times, but it ended up being really sad, especially for Kenya and Shandy and Miss J with the stroke. And
Danny.
it was just very sad.
Yeah, I was really sad. I cried several times. I initially cried when I watched Giselle in the beginning because when she talked about her excitement and like how much it meant to her, I was like, oh my gosh, I remember that feeling and that I totally related to that. And then when I heard Danny speak about, how nothing really worked out for her and Tyra kind of left her hanging and all that stuff, I just broke my heart because I knew how much that girl wanted it. I knew she was trying so hard. And it is true. Like we all got turned away for modeling jobs. I remember in LA, Fashion Week, I'd go into these go-sees. I had my book, put it down in front of this guy. I remember what he looks like. He opened it up and looked at a couple pages and he shut it and he goes, no. And he shoved it back towards me because it was all top model stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. You don't want to see me walk or?
Right. Like nothing. You don't want me to put on an outfit?
Well, I think that was the one thing. I don't know if you agree too, but when you look at some of the runways and the photo shoots, none of it's to, usually photo shoots and runways are to show the clothes.
Right.
And the model's job is to emphasize the clothes and the designer's vision.
Sure.
Top Model was about here's here's a girl who's been murdered. Who's buying that?
I know.
Am I wrong?
Here's a white girl now in blackface.
Now in
Right.
blackface. I mean,
Wow.
Gucci's gonna sign up for
Right.
this? Like, what is
I
this?
know. And if you think about it, it's almost like the trashy version of modeling. If you will.
Yeah.
Because if you really
It-
do go on to model and you live in that world for real, like I modeled in Milan, I modeled in Hong Kong, I modeled in actual places where, people, there were high-end brands and things like that.
Mhm.
It was not anything like that. It was so clean and polished and perfect. And
I'm sure.
Well, can you speak more on that? Because Tyra emphasized in every episode that this is modeling and this
Every
is what
photo
I
shoot.
had
Well,
to
this is
do
modeling.
and blah blah blah. Now you have done, like you said, actual modeling in Milan.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing
it's
because
fine.
it is so
Ridiculous.
ridiculous.
No,
Some
I
of
know.
it's ridiculous. Can you talk about what your opinion is?
Yeah, which photo shoot in your season were you like, Tyra, I don't think this is modeling?
And then what was that like compared to stuff you've done in Milan?
Well, the bald one with the jewels all over my head. The bald wig. the
Okay,
bald mouth.
now hear me out. Joni, you fucking served. You looked great bald. I know it's a crazy photo shoot, but you fucking looked great bald. Not saying you should shave your head right now because you have beautiful hair, but like if you had to, you look great
Thanks.
bald.
No, it was just a little ridiculous, but thank you. That was a weird one. The Ice Princess one. I don't know if they would use that one. Definitely hanging up over a river with fish dripping on you. That one was weird. But the other ones, I could see like the crumping one being a thing, the elephant being a thing.
The elephant is one of my favorite photos of yours.
Thanks. I love.
And it's so cool.
That was the best day of my life, I think. Because like we took a ride to the set on the actual elephant, and we went through the jungle,
Ugh.
and then you're looking around. There's nothing but mud and trees, and they're cracking whole trees with their feet. And then we get into a river, and the water comes up to the chest of the elephant, and I'm like, holy shit! I'm like, I'm gonna die. And then we go through and it was just amazing. Like seriously, wow! I can't. Yeah.
That
So
is-
I feel like you're saying you have a very bittersweet relationship with the fact that you were on the show.
Definitely. Yeah, there were so many good
Yeah.
parts and then so many bad parts. I mean, they knew when I came onto the show that through casting, they saw my teeth. I mentioned my teeth, how
Mhm.
self-conscious I was about my teeth. They were like, "Oh, teeth, let's write this down." And then when I was going through the show and watching it, they were like zooming in on the teeth and making an elephant sound, like, "Rah!" And I'm like, really? Like, look at that tooth.
It's so- yeah, it's
awful.
so
I'm laughing
crazy.
because it's so diabolical that it seems like an SNL sketch, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Doesn't
it
have
really,
to show
it does feel
ridiculous?
like an SNL. Every episode feels like an SNL sketch. But don't get me wrong, 20 years later, I'm still watching with a bucket of popcorn and I'm like, this is great TV. These girls are making great TV. I feel sorry, but they're making great TV. But I do want to talk to you because you are no stranger to TV.
Yeah.
You modeled for a bit and then Trading Spaces.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Trading
Yes.
Spaces.
So I
So how did you go from modeling to carpentry and construction and all of
oh
that?
my gosh. So I had just gotten back from Milan actually, and I was here for about 3 months, and an audition opportunity came across my plate to audition for a show on the DIY network called Run My Renovation, and I got it. And they flew me out to Tennessee, and they had me start working with this guy named Jim, and he just took me under his wing. He taught me everything he knew. I fell in love instantly with this because I grew up around handy people, and like that's no
Mhm.
stranger to that. But I did that show for 4 seasons, and I was obsessed. I got my contractor's license. I was like, this is my parlay, right? This is my thing I'm going to do now. I love this. And then I did like 3 or 4 more shows before Trading Spaces. And then when that happened to me, I was like, thank you, God. Like, I was just like, this makes me feel like I am seen. I'm the second female carpenter they've ever had on the show. I
Amazing.
felt so proud of that in that moment. And then, it just, like I said, I do it now. It's like
Was
my
the-
actual job.
Trading Spaces has some amazing viral
Yeah.
moments as well.
Was there a moment on Trading Spaces where they
Hung you up from a bridge with some fish.
or put you in a bald cap?
Oh. But I do remember an episode with Hildy. She had like the room split.
Hildy.
Yeah, split into like a pie, and it was like yellow floor, yellow wall, yellow lamp, pink
Didn't she do the room with hay on the
Yes.
wall? Girl, I will never forget that episode of her putting hay on the wall. And even as like a gay high schooler, I thought, no.
Something
Something
about this.
that.
No.
Now, who was hosting when you were on?
Yeah,
Paige?
Paige has always been the host. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
No,
here's
first was Alex McLeod, I think was her name. There was a girl for the first season. She had dark
and
brown
then
hair.
Paige took over.
And then the second season, Paige took over from then
So
on.
this is the question,
Yeah.
Joanie. You've done two. Who is the most diabolical host, Paige or Tyra?
Definitely Tyra. Paige.
Who tortured you more, Paige or Tyra?
Paige is like a sweet angel piece of cake with like.
Oh, I'm
on
sure.
top.
She just seems like the
She's
best.
incredible. Yeah.
Can I ask a question? I don't know if this is even fair for me to ask, but like, and you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but what are your real feelings on Tyra? I mean, because it seems like there's a lot of layers there, from her trying to be vulnerable, but quite business, but then PR. But I'm just trying to think of like, after this doc and after working with her and being associated with the show, what are your, if you're comfortable saying, what are your feelings on Tyra?
You know what? I get like real deep psychological stuff going on. You know, sometimes I'm thinking like, okay, she's had success pushed in her face. She's been told yes so many times. I think that gets to a person after a while, you know. So there's a little bit of that. There's a lot of like narcissism there. And you know, no one's really like keeping her in check. It's almost like she's got yes men all around her. You know, so that's one part of it. But also this other side of it is she's so successful, you know, like you cannot hate on that. Like that's insane.
Right.
What she's been able to do and how she's been able to parlay and jump around and do things. So I respect her for that. But like with those two things together, it's almost like she's losing that like real person that's in touch with like reality. And like I just wonder, does she even have real friends? Like I feel bad for her, honestly.
That is I think that too, especially hearing how her and the Jays don't talk to her anymore. I constantly think, who are her core group of friends? Is anyone, I mean,
Who's her girl?
I have a core group of friends that daily tell me I sound like an animated cartoon character. Is anyone in her life, like a core group of friends, being like, Tyra?
Her mom? She's always said she's close with her mom.
I don't know. I don't know. It gives off that she doesn't. And like you said, that it's just all yes people around her. I
she's
think
had an amazing career.
she's had an amazing career, and in a world predominantly owned and operated by rich white men, she really broke through, and there is something to that. I think the hardest hitting question I want to ask you from this is the serious journalism part. Will you be trying hot ice cream? And if she offered you to be the spokesmodel for it, would you take that job?
I mean, I'd take that job. Why not?
But is it hot chocolate? I'm so confused.
So is
But
Tyra.
as soon as something hits her tongue, she tastes it.
This was my other favorite interview. She goes, I'm going to show you how to eat ice cream.
Oh.
Instead of putting it in spoon down, flip it over. So the ice cream touches the tongue. You never touch the spoon.
Tyra, I've had ice cream before. I know how to have ice cream. I know how to enjoy it. What that shows to me that you are out of touch is when you're trying to explain ice cream.
She's reinventing it.
She's reinventing nothing.
Yeah.
She spent a year developing that.
Oh, dear.
She's the scientist, apparently.
What has the outreach been like? How have you people been messaging you? Like, what is the general consensus of people who are reaching out to you, and how do you feel?
It is incredible. And if you're listening and you follow me on any platforms, thank you for reaching out and following me and being so sweet and kind. I've had no negativity, and I appreciate that so much. You guys are just so sweet. I'm about to reach 100,000 followers. I never thought that would happen in my whole life.
Anyone watching and listening to our podcast right now, go give her a follow. What's your Joanie? Tell them all where they can find you.
At Joanie Sprague on Instagram.
There you
Go follow her. Every single person watching and listening.
You should post all your all the pictures, all the photo shoots that you did on your cycle,
and you have a scrapbook.
And your caption. talk about what that experience is like, people will
Yeah.
eat that up.
She still has the teeth they pulled.
I
You
did.
do?
I kept them. Is that weird?
No. That's actually like the smartest thing you could have ever done.
Some moms keep their kids circumcision.
Oh
still.
dear, that's
That's
true.
weird.
That is kind of weird.
That's
yeah.
a bit extreme.
Well, I'm saying that's the weird part. Keeping your teeth that was pulled on national television.
Have any of the cycles in a circumcision photo shoot?
I did just
Crazy.
do a whole storyline of my book, my scrapbook, and I have it on a highlight. So if you want to go watch that and see what it looks like, so yeah, it's been really nice. Everybody's really sweet, and I'm trying to respond to everybody, but it's a little overwhelming. But I'm very grateful. So.
Well, you genuinely were one of our favorite from the show. You genuinely were just a enjoyable, beautiful, funny, relatable person on the show, and we are so happy that you even agreed to do this.
I was so
We're
tickled.
nobodies, and the fact that you did our podcast, we were like, I can't believe
I
this.
know. I asked Nick, I'm like, are you sure? I'm like, are you sure we're not being pranked right now?
No,
Like, no, I swear to
love you
God, she's
guys.
coming on the show.
I found you. I
Well,
think I found Matteo first through like Instagram or Facebook comedy stuff, and then I found Nick, and then you guys were together, and I'm like, oh my gosh! And so I love your podcast, and the whole Appalachia thing was hilarious to me. I shared that with.
Well, how do you wait, Joanie? Where are you from again?
Pittsburgh. I live in the
Pittsburgh.
Appalachian Mountain.
We love Pittsburgh.
Okay, so we all first
Wait,
we are
did you
huge
go?
Pittsburgh
Did you
fans.
go to Kennywood
Yes,
growing up?
I did, and
We go every year.
We go every year.
We go every year. We're obsessed with Kennywood. So our two friends who we play Fortnite with every single night are from Pittsburgh. So we are always in Pittsburgh. We love Pittsburgh.
We love shout out to all
Shout
the
out to
Yinzers out
Kennywood.
there. Come to Kennywood with us when we go in October for Fright Night. I don't know. We're gonna go. It's fun.
Absolutely.
And if you're in New York, by the way, let us know
Yes,
and
let us
come
know next time
actually
you're in
sit
New
on the
York.
pod with us. We'd love to have you.
I would love that. I'm coming to New York in April, like I said, to meet up with the other girls from Top Model. So maybe we can find some time.
Reach out.
Let's
We are here.
100% do it.
Well, thank you so much again, Joanie. We really appreciate it. Everyone, go give her a follow. Go watch her highlight of her ANTM story and send her a DM. Tell her how much you love her.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
so sweet. I love you guys. Thank you. This is really fun.
All right. Thank you, Joanie.
Bye, Joanie. Nice to meet you.
Yes.
You
Bye.
too.
Bye. So nice to
Bye.
meet you.
How?
Thank you for watching and listening to another episode of our podcast. We hope you enjoyed our special guest. Go give her a follow. Please like, comment, subscribe to our podcast. Please leave a review. Please join our Patreon for bonus episodes, behind the scenes content, and our merch line. If you haven't gotten it, please get it. And until next time.